You self-published this book. What was that process like? Did you go through a group? Did you go to the internet? Tell us about your self-publishing process.
Okay. I debated whether this was the way that I wanted to go, and at that point, I was in a writing group. And I just tell everybody, if you want to write, get into a writing group. It not only helps you with your craft, developing your craft, but it helps you just getting so much feedback and so many other people who give you information. And you don't have to always take this information, but it just keeps the wheels going. So I said, okay, well, self-publishing is the route that I want to go. Basically because I wanted complete ownership.
Okay.
I didn't want, people to tell me, oh no, you can't do it this way. And I think we went through a little bit of that when I got somebody to take a look at my book. No, you should write it this way. I said, no, it's my book and I want it written this way. So self-publishing gives you the opportunity to project yourself and to write it the way you would really want it to be written.
Okay. So you did have an editor? Or?
I did have an editor.
Okay.
I did have an editor. How that worked out, my group, and we met weekly there at one of the local libraries. And we would get together. I did a group of writers or people who wanted to write, and we would critique one another's works. And
which is a scary process. No, it is. To have someone that perhaps, you appreciate their skills or don't appreciate their skills, look at your work and give you feedback. It's scary is the word I use, but it's daunting. It's daunting because you know what you want to say, like you said earlier. And perhaps you're not saying exactly the way you want to say it, but somebody else comes along who doesn't know what you wanted to say, is using their perspective and saying, well, you should say it this way. Well, wait a minute. Number one, you don't know what I want to say because I haven't said it.
It can really, present it in that way.
Okay.
But in another way, to me, it helped me because it helps, you know what you want to write, you know what you want to say, but then if it's not clear to other people, it's like, Jill, go back and revisit this. I don't think that there were too many suggestions. It's just that it's like, well, I'm not too sure. Could you say it? Could you say it in another way? And maybe, they never gave me that other way, or maybe they did. I don't remember.
They just challenged you
but,
to say it in
yes.
another way. Okay.
So we did that. I did that in this group, and then when I got everything, all my documents together, my pieces together, I wanted it to be edited, by one person.
Okay.
So there was somebody I held in high regard, and can I name her?
Sure.
Almeida Whitus.
Sure.
She did my
local
editing.
storyteller,
Yes,
bon vivant,
Right.
world traveler, just a wonderful person. Yeah.
Yes. So she did the editing, and I was very, very pleased with that. So I had somebody, I had her do the editing, and then I had somebody to take it out of book form, not book form, document form to put it in book form.
So
Printer.
from PDF or from your computer and actually put it in a form that it can be put into a
Yes,
book. Okay.
and I used somebody there. She worked.
What was the company?
She's an individual. Her name is Karen Cornwall.
Okay. And she helps writers put documents into a book form.
Into a book form.
Okay.
So we worked very, very closely. She is out of Ohio, believe it or not. But her home is Rochester, and she comes back and forth. But it's interesting because we were on the computer, and by this time I was really getting very specific about my book. No, Karen, I don't want it this way. This picture should go here. I can remember that she wanted my pictorial gallery in the front of the book. And I said, I don't want it in the front of the book. I want it, a little bit later on because I've already identified some of these characters, so let them see the pictures. If you see the pictures first, that they don't really know what they're looking at. But so we were very, very hard, going back and forth. And she was wonderful. And it was just, it's like, you probably know this, when your first book comes out, it's like a baby. It's like a treasure to you. So I wanted to make sure, that we got it right. I could have been a pain for her and everything, but she appreciated it and all. She says, I know you want, a nice piece, done.
So how has the book been going for you? Did you have a book signing or?
Yes, I did. My first book signing was in August of 2012, and it was funny. I wanted to have it during that time in the month of August. My mother's sister is getting old, and she was the only surviving daughter of my grandmother, who the book is about. And I definitely wanted her, to be able to read the book while she was still healthy. So I kind of rushed it along. We could have waited a couple of months later, and I said it has to be done in August. So I can remember very, very, very specifically. I went to Books and Writers, and I asked
Writers and Books.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, and I asked them about their availability, their space, and they said, "Oh yes, we do have a nice area." And they showed me this was kind of like an auditorium.
On the second floor?
Yes.
Okay.
And that was not in my heart. I didn't want that.
Okay.
I didn't want that. I thought it was too academic, and I wanted it to be just a joyful and a party atmosphere.
Okay.
Coming home almost. So I left there, and I was on my way, to my car, and right next door, of course, is Malva.
Yes.
What a blessing! So I went on in there, and the young lady,
Terry Shaka.
was sitting down, and she wanted to know why I was there, and I told her. She just sat down, and she listened, and she was very, very encouraging. I read a couple of excerpts from my book, and she says, "You can do this." And I said, "That's wonderful." And I said, "Well, I can only do it. I have to do it in August." And that was really like I think in July. I was really, really pushing her, and she says, "Well, we can do it this time in August or that date." And that was one of the dates that I was hoping we were going to be able to, to
Creator
do
is
it.
good.
He really is.
Every
So we talked about what it would entail, what I would have to do, what the financial. And she says,
You're working out.
yeah, and it was like a gift. It was just really, really beautiful.
Does this aunt live in Rochester, the one that you wanted at the?
No, she's in Florida.
Okay. So
in
for her to
Orlando.
come up and all of that, you had to make those arrangements.
Yeah, but I just didn't think that it was going to be as fabulous as it turned out. Really. So I knew what I wanted to serve. I said I just want a large dessert table, and I wanted to look pretty, And all of my my sister friends, they just jumped on. Everybody was just so into it. Everybody was just so excited, So people, I said, "Joe, you just come and you just do what you need to do, and and we will be there for you." So they set the table up, and it was artisanal. I mean, it was really, 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 really beautiful. The food was good. The donations came in. Some, people purchased from some of the famous, the Savoy, and all. And but I did not. It didn't. Nothing cost me a penny. A penny. No. And when okay, so the night of the affair, I was told they had over 80 people that showed up, and people were buying just not one book, but two books, and everybody purchased, and it was just a glorious afternoon. And just like I was saying, had I have known it was going to be that kind of turnout, I would have had more of my family members come up, because not that, but the main thing is that I wanted to share the joy that I was experiencing with my family, because it was a family thing, and I'm really big into doing
And
things.
it's about family.
And
the whole project,
and
the whole book is about family.
right,